south of Aurora Road. Get out on Wintry with extended symmetrical full-time all-wheel drive as your local super dealer for a holiday bonus. Time for the forecast in East and DVP.
Light snow, weather advisories in place. It's been a couple of hours now for some areas, and so we are seeing the effects on the roads. A couple of centimeters here in the city, and a little more so expected north and east of the city center. But really all the GTA is seeing some sort of snowy conditions today, and there is some dry pockets, but there is still more on the way. So the next kind of round is moving in from the west, and we're keeping an eye on that. Looks like there's some areas within that where it's just a little heavier, and that's going to continue until about early to mid-evening. We're not going to be quite out of the woods until probably after 7, but we'll keep an eye on that. Temps are climbing, and we're going to hit a guaranteed high of 2 degrees later. We're going to hold there overnight, and tomorrow a high near 5, mostly cloudy. Right now it's -1 at Pearson, the guaranteed high +2.
The City News Time 3:43, while a spotlight is being cast on a political division within Canada's beekeeping community following the dismissal of a class action lawsuit over rules governing the cross-border live bee trade. A federal judge has ruled against awarding commercial beekeepers damages from a decades-old partial ban on shipping live honeybees across the Canada-U.S. border. The partial ban is in place out of concerned cross-border trade could bring in aggressive pests and diseases. The beekeepers from Western Canada involved in the suit say the government's risk assessments that inform the tight restrictions are hurting their businesses and are blown out of proportion. Coming up in 60 seconds, we'll have a check of your top headlines and sports.
Warm up to winter savings with Michelin. Get up to $100 Michelin prepaid MasterCard when you purchase a set of 4 Michelin tires between October 4th and December 20th. From tires to tune-ups, we won't be undersold. There's no better place to buy your Michelin tires than conditions apply. See store for details. Over 100 million people around the world have felt the thrill of Broadway's most spectacular musical, Disney's The Lion King. And now you can too. Experience this breathtaking theatrical event and see why the New York Times declared there is simply nothing else like it. Give the gift that roars. The Lion King at Toronto's Princess of Wales Theatre. Get your tickets at verbish.com. The more you listen, the more you'll know. 680 News Radio.
Hey, it's -1 with some light snow in downtown Toronto. Good afternoon, I'm David Augustine. Here are the top stories right now. Well, it's been 5 years since we've heard these bells chime. But today, the Notre Dame Cathedral has reopened to the public following a fire in 2019 that nearly destroyed it. Dignitaries from around the world attended the opening ceremony, including Quebec Premier François Legault and President-elect Donald Trump. Now, the GTA remains under a winter weather travel advisory, with some places around the city expected to see anywhere between 10 to 15 centimeters of snow accumulate. Our weather specialist, Denise Andriacci, is tracking all of the snow movements, and we'll have the latest at 3:51. Now time for sports from Sportsnet 5-9 of the Fan. Here's Dan McCracken.
David, no Jake McCabe for the Leafs tonight. This will be his 4th straight game out the lineup after taking a puck to the back of the head last week. The Leafs placed the defenseman on IR earlier today. Max Pacioretty has been activated and is expected to return tonight, so some good news for the Leafs. They head to Pittsburgh for Hockey Night in Canada, trying to bounce back after a tough 3-1 loss to Washington yesterday. Joseph Wall is expected to get the start in net. Puck drop just after 7 on Sportsnet. In the NHL this afternoon, Bruins with a pair of goals in the third against the Flyers. The game is tied at 3, and we are in overtime right now on Sportsnet. And Utah took down Buffalo 5-2. The Raptors are at Scotiabank Arena tonight as they host Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. The Mavs are on a roll with 6 straight wins, while the Raps are coming off a not-so-great loss to the Thunder on Thursday. Jakob Poeltl and Kelly Olynyk are a game-time decision. Tip-off is scheduled for just after 7:30. Baseball free agency reports indicating that a decision on Juan Soto is not expected today, but more likely to come Sunday. Sportsnet Shiny McKee says the Jays are still in the running, so everyone hold your breath. Here we go. And the Toronto Marlies are playing Laval for the 2nd straight day. The Marlies picked up a 3-0 win last night.
doors in your home? Hi, I'm Bernard Wilkegan, Inline Fiberglass Windows and Doors. Look up our all fiberglass door systems. They're specifically engineered with minimal frame and maximum glass to bring the light and beauty of the outside world into your home. And every inline fiberglass door is paired with a standard multi-point locking system. Our expert team will handle the installation with ease, and you'll be enjoying your beautiful new door in no time. Schedule your free appointment or visit inlinefiberglass.com.
15 News Time 3:51, time for traffic and weather together on the one. Here's Brandon DePont. Thanks a lot, David. This report brought to you by Sportsnet. Quite a bit of business across our major highway routes, safe to say. We do have lots of volume, but a couple of crashes being reported to us here at the traffic center. So northbound 404 at Bloomington, center lane as well as the right lane blocked due to a collision. Still looking at some pretty heavy delays if you are driving out that way. Basically at the moment, from about a little bit north of Deauville Road, that is. So again, it's not looking the greatest out here there because of just weather combined with obviously the dry incident happening here. We do have at the moment on the southbound side of that 404, it's basically looking at kind of off and on delays right now from just about approaching Bloomington to a little bit south of Elliott Mills, but that is basically the concentration of that delay. And we did get a report of a stalled vehicle, or rather not a stalled vehicle in the ditch just located south of Bloomington. So again, that is why we're getting those kind of spot delays there. Elsewhere, we have along the eastbound 401 volume, of course, from South Pearson to East and DVP, alternately the Express and Collectors. Youngster approaching the 44, alternately Express Collectors, Warden, Kennedy, the Collectors, again at Salem. Westbound 401, Broad Street to Salem, and then Kennedy to Avenue in both the Express and Collectors. On the 400 also, not looking the greatest because of road work happening still. So northbound 400 north of King, left lane taken out, delays from King. Southbound 400 approaching King, left lane also blocked for some on-way maintenance. That's causing a backlog from south of Aurora Road. Also, you should keep in mind if you're all along the Gardner in either direction, business very slow moving out of rail space basically on the westbound side from Jarvis. Eastbound side, you're looking at delays from Islington Express to Lakeshore Red, that's at Parkland, and then long-term construction backup from Humber Bridge in. Matthews and Elite face off against Crosby and the Penguins. It's a star-studded Hockey Night in Canada. Leafs Penguins tonight at 6:30 p.m. on Sportsnet. Time for the forecast to East Entry on James.
Weather advisory is in place for Toronto, Northern North Region, Pickering, Southern Durham, Vaughan, Richmond Hill, Markham. We've seen the snow for a few hours now, so much of the GTA. Some areas have been spared a little bit more than others, and we still have a bit more to go. So a few more hours of this snow, even though there's some dry pockets at the moment, we're still seeing more snow that's going to move through west to east, and this is going to take us into the evening hours. So we're not done with the accumulation, we're not done with the tricky road conditions. What we might be done with, at least for a few days, are the cooler temperatures, because these winds are starting to pick up out of the southwest, and this is bringing our temps up. So later tonight, for the overnight, we're going to hover around 2 degrees. Now, as we kind of get there, we may see more of a wet snow later this evening. That could make for some slushier conditions. We'll watch that. Mostly cloudy, chance of showers tomorrow, 5 for high, periods of rain on Monday. So some big temp swings coming, but we continue to see active weather. We're just going to change up the precipitation type. Our overnight low tonight, 2 degrees.
This extended forecast is brought to you by Gab Bodia's Genesis, Mississauga.
From poolside to luxury rides, home is a basketball star shine on the roof.
Visit GenesisMississauga.ca today for an experience centered around you. At Weinrack, you can shop and savor top picks for the holidays. Along with a wide selection of seasonal favorite wines for gifting and hosting, we're offering big savings on our lowest prices of the season. Right now, you can save up to $4 on your favorite wines, like great tasting Jackson Triggs, Inniskillen, and Sandbank. For quality wines at a great price, why not pop in to see us this holiday season? Weinrack, in your neighborhood, local grocery store, and at weinrack.com.
Must be legal drinking age. Please drink responsibly. See store for details. No more. Listen 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Trust the #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
Big News Radio, Toronto.
Well, many millennial and Gen Z Canadians are being drawn back to using Facebook because of its buy and sell platform, Facebook Marketplace.
Allie McIsaac says she scrolls for deals on Facebook Marketplace several times a day and jokes about it becoming a hobby. The 29-year-old public servant in Ottawa says with the high cost of living, she's looking to find deals struggle. After receiving over 100 messages and dealing with no-shows, the 28-year-old midwifery student in Toronto was able to make $500 off furniture sales. McIsaac says the marketplace and other Facebook groups are leading to a resurgence of Facebook, especially during hard financial times. Naira Ahmed, The Canadian Press.
Coming up in 60, check out the weekend business.
A Tim's Donut and Coffee is the original collab. And right now in Toronto, any classic donut is $1 when you buy any size original or dark roast coffee. Get a deal on the iconic duo with the Tim's Dollar Donut. Plus tax at participating restaurants in Toronto for limited time. Terms apply. See you for details.
So get this, the Ontario Liberals elected Bonnie Crombie as their new leader.
Bonnie,
I just sent you her profile. Her first act as leader, asking donors for $1 million for her salary.
that's excessive. She's a big carbon tax supporter.
Oh yeah, check out her record as mayor.
Oh, get out of here. She even increased taxes in this economy.
Yeah, higher taxes, carbon taxes. She sounds expensive.
Bonnie Crombie and the Ontario Liberals.
They just don't get it. That'll cost you.
A message from the Ontario PC Party.
Where do you find your go-to festive favorites? At Metro, of course. Get holiday dinner essentials like frozen grade A turkey for just $1.47 per pound. But only until December 11th at your go-to Metro or online at metro.ca.
Unlike Apple, interest rates will be coming down again this week. The only real question is by how much. The latest signals from the job market provided some clues with the November unemployment rate on the rise to 6.8%, despite the economy adding more than 51,000 jobs for the month. The economy, though, just is continuing to struggle with a surging population. Doug Porter is the chief economist at BMO.
It was one of the largest increases that we've ever seen. 138,000 people entered the labor force in a single month. And that's the big story here. I mean, the economy actually did manage to grind out 50,000 net new jobs. Most of them admittingly were in the public sector, but it just wasn't enough to match that kind of increase in the amount of people looking for work.
Porter says they're penciling in another 50 basis point interest rate reduction when the central bank sets policy on Wednesday.
And full disclosure, that's the way the market is heavily leading at this point. Bank of Canada is focused on the fact that inflation is basically back down to their 2% target. And we've got an unemployment rate that's still rising, and their view is interest rates are still on the restrictive side. So, you know, they've shown willingness to cut quickly before. And
The one red flag for the Bank of Canada, a dropping dollar, which is now just worth 70 cents U.S.
that's the one good counter argument for not going quickly. You know, you don't want to aggravate a weakening currency.
That's Doug Porter at BMO at the Business Center. I'm Mike Apple.
The best part about giving an enjoyable gift from Vintages at LCBO is receiving an enjoyable experience in return. Earn 1,000 Aeroplan bonus points by buying any 12 wines from the Vintages new release or seller collection. Why not give the wine lovers on your list some of the best and most interesting wines from around the world? You can shop and earn 1,000 Aeroplan bonus points today. Exclusions apply. Visit lcbo.com for full terms and conditions. From Toyota's third winter tires to the Celsius and open country lines of all-weather tires, Toyo has the cold weather solution for you. Toyo Tires, making tires for your road. Find a Toyo Tread Expert dealer near you at treadexperts.ca/location.
Now, regional weather conditions for Kidney Card. Make that old car one less thing on your mind. Donate it to Kidney Card. You'll be funding research and services for kidney patients in Canada. Donate at kidneycard.ca.
In Markham, -2 with some snow, and -1 here in downtown Toronto with some light snow falling as well. 6:80 news time, 4 o'clock.
Number one for breaking news, traffic, and weather. 680 News Radio, Toronto.
It's Saturday, December 7th. Good afternoon. I'm Sophia Vavaruzos.
And I'm David Augustine. Here's what's making news right now.
In France, for the first time in 5 years, the Notre Dame Cathedral is opening its doors to visitors. The world's most powerful leaders are on hand for the big reveal.
Weather alert, snow is moving in across southwestern Ontario. Toronto could see 5 centimeters, 10 set to fall in areas across the GTA, while the full forecast coming up in seconds. Dundas Street East is closed again this weekend. I'll let you know what crews are doing at the bridge west of Logan.
Francis
to one of the Pope's closest advisors.
Max Pacioretty is expected to return to the Leafs lineup tonight, but no Jake McCabe for a fourth straight game. Sports at 15.
City News Time 401.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Brandon DePont.
Thank you very much for the support. Brought to you by AGM Renovations. We'll start off on the 404 and in both directions. It's quite busy due to a couple of things happening. So northbound 404, you're looking at delays at 16th Avenue, and then way north of that at Bloomington, the center lane as well as the right lane is blocked due to a crash there. MTO are now on scene there, and they've notified us. So again, it's looking like pretty bad scene delays right now from north of Stouffville, but look for those delays probably to increase and get much worse as time goes on, basically until our next report. Probably looking at Stouffville Road where those delays will begin. But regardless, that's what's happening there. And then on the southbound side of the 404, we have heard some Bloomington vehicle landing in the ditch. Now, southbound 404, not as bad. You're looking at kind of spotty delays at Bloomington, and then basically from Stouffville to a little bit right around Elgin Mills is where you're going to notice some off and on delays. Elsewhere, we have on the northbound 400 north of King Road, left lane taken out for construction. That causing a backlog from King Road. Southbound 400 approaching King, left lane blocked for construction. This now making it slower. Has been actually, not just now, but for the last number of hours, delays from south of Aurora Road. Elsewhere, we have along the QEW in either direction. Let's look at that. Westbound QEW slow throughout the Mississauga corridor from 427 to Weston Dixie. Eastbound side is slow as well from Air Mills to east of Cawthron. Is your roof or windows over 10 years old? Old roofs and windows damage ceilings, walls, floors, and furniture. Visit AGMRenovations.com. But before December 31st, get $4,000 off. Time for the forecast. Here is Denise Andrianacci.
Weather advisories remain in place because we continue to see the snow falling across the GTA. It's going to be several hours until the system is done passing through. Now, we do have some dry breaks in some of this snow, but there's still more to come. It's -1. It feels like -4. Our guaranteed high today, +2.
City News Time 403.
In Paris, the famed Notre Dame Cathedral is now reopening to the public. The 861-year-old church was nearly destroyed in a 2019 fire.
Well, CNN's Melissa Bell says a moving ceremony took place this afternoon as the church bell sounded after 5 years of silence.
What we just saw a short while ago on the front of the cathedral were light in big light, merci, thank you, in many different languages in the world. What we saw it kick off with was the Archbishop of Paris, once all the dignitaries, those 50 heads of state were gathered inside, knock with his staff 3 times on the grand doors that they could be opened, the choir replying to him. We also saw in another very moving moment, once the organ had been brought back to life and the choir once again was filling Notre Dame with a song, was the very many firemen and women who'd taken part in trying to save as much of Notre Dame as they could on that fateful night of April 2019 thanked.
The renovation was made possible in such a short time thanks to nearly $1 million in donations from around the globe.
Several world leaders are in attendance at Notre Dame for ceremonies this weekend that will wrap up with a public mass at 6:30 Paris time tomorrow night. They include Quebec Premier François Legault, French President Emmanuel Macron welcomes U.S. President-elect Donald Trump with a full dose of presidential pomp.
C'est a great honor for French people to welcome you.
The two men are resuming the relationship they established during Trump's first term.
It's an honor to be here. We had a good time together, and we had a lot of success, really great success, working together on defense and offense too.
Trump said
The world is going a little crazy right now, and we'll be talking about that.
First Lady Jill Biden is representing the White House at the event. I'm Jackie Quinn.
City News Time 405.
This 80 News Radio Weather Alert.
A winter weather travel advisory is in place for the GTA with up to 5 centimeters expected in Toronto. Areas through York and Northern York to see up to 10 centimeters with 15 expected in Durham region. The weather specialist Denise Andrianacci says it's more than enough to create problems on the roads.
This is not isolated bands of snow off of Lake Huron or Georgian Bay that's just targeting specific locales. This is a system in Alberta Clipper that's rolling through the region, and this afternoon and evening is widespread steady snow.
Temperatures are also on the way up, which means you can expect a mix of possible wet snow or rain in some areas.
680 News Time 4:06. A section of Dundas Street East will remain closed through the weekend. 680's Jordan Kerr takes a look at what's going on.
Dundas is once again closed through Leslieville for bridge work as Metrolinx installs new bridge girders west of Logan. No traffic can pass on Dundas between Logan and West Avenue, while only local traffic can move between West Avenue and Broadview. This closure is in place until 6 o'clock Monday morning, so until then you can use Queen as an alternate between Broadview and Logan. Metrolinx has been doing bridge work in the area all year, preparing the rail corridor for future transit expansions, including the Ontario line. I'm Jordan Kerr.
You're listening to All News Radio, 680 News Radio, Toronto. An early morning triple shooting has left one person with life-threatening injuries and two more in hospital. Toronto police say it happened around 5:15 a.m. near Queen and Spadina and began as an altercation inside a bar. Acting Duty Inspector Philip Sinclair says anyone with information is being urged to contact them.
When the incident occurred, our officers arrived on scene very shortly and observed numerous people leaving the bar at the same time. So they reported a few individuals in there, and officers observed as many people left. We want to speak to those people to come forward, just witnesses, if any cell phone videos to share with the police.
Police have recovered 2 firearms and arrested 1 person.
This is 680 News Radio. 1 person is dead and 2 people have life-threatening injuries after a head-on 3-vehicle collision in Caledon. Peel paramedics tell 680 News Radio an ambulance came across the crash just before midnight. A 44-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 men, one in his 50s, the other in his 40s, are in hospital with life-threatening injuries, and a 4th person, another man in his 40s, was taken to hospital with minor injuries.
Toronto's Archbishop is getting the honor of becoming a cardinal today at the Vatican. 680's Maria Castine with those details.
Reverend Francis Leo was ordained as a priest in 1996 in Montreal and was appointed Archbishop of Toronto last year. He's one of 21 Catholic bishops being elevated to the College of Cardinals and the only one from North America. He's paying a visit to Pope Francis today for the official ceremony, where each cardinal will be presented with a biretta and a ring. New cardinals wear scarlet vestments for the first time, symbolic of the blood a cardinal is willing to shed for their faith. The new cardinals will be in attendance at Mass tomorrow at St. Peter's Basilica, as they now are close advisors to the Pope. I'm Maria Castine.
You're listening to 680 News Radio. If you want to get into the Christmas spirit, but you don't want to go downtown, the Holiday Fun Fair at Mel Laston Square might be just the thing for you. 680's Momin Qureshi reports.
Aston Square now looks a little more like a scene out of a Hallmark Christmas movie.
It's a Christmas market. We'll have the vendors and artisans and a polar bar and Santa Claus, and new this year is a big light maze. It's pretty exciting. It took me a while to get out of it, but it's pretty exciting.
That's Jeff Bob, the Executive Director of Epilepsy Toronto. He says along with getting into the spirit of the season, all the money raised will go to support people living with epilepsy.
We call it our charity cafe, and it's a sort of a small